Hey everybody, I'm gonna wait for a couple people to jump on here. I know I'm a little early, but I want to know what everybody's up to today, what y'all have going on for the weekend. It is Friday, finally. Yeah, it's been a busy week. I mean, all things considered, most of us are off work or working from home. And I mean, we're all making it work. What else are we gonna do, right? I had some music playing, but I think because I'm doing a video, it stopped. So anyway, today we're gonna go over no heat styling and how to make your style last for a few days. A lot of us want to be able to style in 5 to 10 minutes or less. That's not always doable for everybody. So I will start by explaining until some people jump on here. My hair is curled from yesterday. I brushed it out this morning. And all I did was straighten these two edges right here. So that was all I did today. Literally brushed it out and straightened just these very edges. So when I start with doing my hair, day one, whatever day of the week that is, when I wash it, I typically will put in some type of leave-in conditioner, a smoothing cream. One of my favorite smoothing creams is by Air. This cream you put in wet or damp and you blow dry or let it air dry. It works amazing. I really, really love it. I believe you can put it in dry as well. It has amethyst and besu oil, which besu oil is really healing for your hair. So that's a great ingredient to find in your product. But as for that, I let it kind of air dry overnight. And then in the morning, it's still considered day one hair. But I will go ahead and curl with my flat iron like I taught in my last tutorial. And do those steps, curl it, brush it out, put all my product in. Then I sleep on it. Day two, hey guys, glad some people are on, yay! So we're again just gonna go over no heat styling, trying to make our hair last longer with the least amount of heat. So I was just going over day one, what I put in it, what I do. That's the day that I use the most heat. That's the day that I use the most product. And then probably I go about 3 days. I usually don't go longer than that unless like our current situation where I don't have to look pretty for anybody. I can just put my hair up in a bun or a ponytail and call it a day. Hey Jessica, nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for joining us. We are going to move along. So one of the things that I start out with on day two, so day two and day three, because by day four I typically wash my hair again, is I will go ahead and put in, or I'll brush my hair. So I'll use my wet brush and literally brush out the curls that I have going on. Just because this also helps break up the product that's on there, like the hairspray or the setting spray or whatever kind of product you have on. And you can see I brushed it and I literally just have to take maybe some texture spray, like that Texture Air that I showed you the other day. It was by Air. I'm not as organized today, so sorry about that, but the Texture Air. And this stuff is like really thick. And it does have a little bit of grit to it. So you can go ahead on, this is for day two, you can see these curls. They're not as tight as they were on day one, but that's okay because nobody wants to look the same every single day. So I don't know if you guys want to comment what you all got going on for the weekend or kind of start a conversation that way. We can kind of interact like we did the other day. But I always just start by combing out my curls, and then I will spray some Texture Air or any kind of sea salt spray, anything that's gonna add a little grit to my hair, because on day 2 and day 3, I use the minimum amount of heat from my flat iron, curling iron, anything. I don't really use a lot of heat. So normally this is all I would do. I might go ahead and tease my bangs. I might, this isn't even on, but I might take my flat iron and flatten just the edges here. So it kind of just seals it down and makes it look like I did a little something. These bangs are gonna be the death of me, you guys. They always separate and get in my eye. But that's typically what I do for day 2. So for day 3, this is where I start to use my my dry shampoo. Now I do use the Lange brand dry shampoo. I have I also have Scruples. One second, let me grab that. So the Scruples dry shampoo is my other favorite. Hey, I hear you, Jessica. I need to get fresh air too, so I'm gonna go for a walk after this. So dry shampoo, you can use the Scruples, you can use Lange. There's a lot of them out there. You just have to pay attention. Some of them have like powders in them. Some of them just are, I don't know, they just don't work as well. I typically really like the Lange one. It smells really good. The Scruples one smells amazing too. So when I start with dry shampoo, I'm always gonna spray right on my root. And you can see there is a powder. Don't touch it. Let it sit, because the reason you're using dry shampoo is to soak up the oil. If you don't have a powder in the dry shampoo, there's nothing to soak up the oil. So as you can see, I'm just kind of taking a little section at a time and spraying right down the middle of that section, so it's getting on both the top and the bottom. I part in the middle, so I go on both sides. If you part on the side, I mean, you're still gonna go on both sides of your part, but you're gonna kind of not do it right from the middle. You're gonna do it from offset or wherever it is that you part. Haley, what movies did you rent? Junk food always sounds good to me, but we'll focus on the movies. So as you can see, my hair looks gray. I don't know, can you guys all see that okay? Or am I too close or too far from the camera? You kind of just rub it in then, and this is gonna help disperse all of that. It's good to let it sit for a couple minutes too, but you can see how much volume this is also giving me. So really, like, for no heat, these curls still look amazing. It does look a little powdery, but that's because I forgot that I was doing this for you guys now, and I did it earlier today. So I got double the amount of dry shampoo in my hair right now. But you can also take your brush and kind of brush it if you want to. The other thing you can do at this point is, if you like to have more volume than this, you can go ahead and tease it. I just do a little bit. I don't really like a ton of volume anymore. Back in high school, I wouldn't leave the house without it. Texas Big, I called it. And then, so you're seeing that I'm getting a ton of volume just from using the dry shampoo and teasing a little bit. Now, normally, this is where I would say, okay, I'm good enough. I don't need to do anything else. Maybe a little hairspray, and I'd be out the door. So this would be how I get from day 1 to day 3. Both day 2 and day 3 would be no heat at all, none. Like I said, the only way that I would use heat is if I needed to like calm down these a little bit on my edges, just to straighten those a little bit, because I do like those to be straight, and then the rest, I don't really care if all of this is kind of fun and everywhere. So now I would go ahead and take my Texture Air and spray that in if you haven't already. You can do that before or after you do your dry shampoo. The next thing I would be using is the hairspray, or as we already know, the air spray. So this would go ahead and we would lift and spray. Don't breathe it in because it doesn't taste very good. And then another trick is you can kind of squeeze it while it's still drying. And you can see how that kind of pops those curls out a little more. Now, I forgot to show you guys the other day when I did the curls on day 1, how to brush it out. I literally sprayed it, did my Texture Air, my shine spray. I was completely done. And then I took my wet brush, got all my hair still in it, I'm sorry. And I literally I brushed it out. And that's how I got the look if you go back to the beginning of the live, that's how I got that very, like, not hairsprayed, very, like, natural looking curl. So if you like that look, you can go ahead and brush through it again. I don't. So if you're not using any heat, there is no reason to use a heat shield, because that is obviously for when you're using a flat iron or curling iron, some kind of heat in your hair. So I wanted to go over shampooing and how often you should be shampooing or shouldn't be shampooing. A lot of people say, well, this other hairstylist told me that I should shampoo my hair as least as possible because that's healthier for your hair because there's natural oils and, you know, all these other things. And I am not going against anything that another stylist said. Every one of us have our own opinion and our own views on how things work and what's healthy for you and what isn't healthy for your hair. So this is like purely just from my experience and my opinion. Everybody's hair type and body type is different. So we all produce oils at different rates. We all have different lifestyles. So some of us work out and get really greasy. We have to wash our hair every day. Others of us, like myself, who has the intention of working out every day, but typically I find every other project in the room to do, I can get away with 3 days because, one, my hair's porosity is a lot less than others. Like, my hair is very dry and very brittle because of all of the stuff that I do to it. So that is why I very much try to not use a lot of heat because I do so many other things to my hair. That's also why I don't wash it as often, because that's also meaning I don't have to blow dry it, and I don't even really blow dry it when I do wash it because I let it air dry overnight. So some of you, if you let your hair air dry, your hair looks greasy the next day. And a trick for that is you can use the dry shampoo on day 1. Because the dry shampoo is just going to give you that volume and soak up any grease or oil. So those of you who do have oily scalps and you have to wash your hair every day, that might be an option for you, is to use a dry shampoo. Now with not using heat every day, when I had my extensions in, as most of you saw throughout the last year, I would take this product that is an actual sea salt spray. This is by Scruples, their indie line. I still really love Scruples products. This one works very, very well. So what I would do with this is, even on day 1, when I would wash my hair, I would either blow dry it or let it air dry about 50%. I would spray this in, and then I would do 1 braid down each side of my head. And then in the morning, I would, if it wasn't dry quite yet, I would blow dry it a little bit while it was still in the braids, take it out, spray a little more of this in and scrunch it. And I would have those like, you know, when you were a kid, a braid, you take it out, it's kind of wavy and kinky. Now that would work for someone with shorter hair too. You would just have to do braids like a French braid, just an inverted French braid down each side. I'm not going to show you that today because I will be doing a braids video next week. So I'll show you that technique in that video. Today is more about just what products to use and how to go longer without washes or between washes. But as always, you have to take into consideration what your hair type can handle. So a lot of times, you know, we all have like face wash and skincare routines, and something that works for my sister might not work for me because we have different skin types. So it's the same thing with your hair. Now it does make a difference on what shampoos you're using too. If you have a shampoo that has a lot of parabens, a lot of sulfates, a lot of just junk that you don't need in your shampoo, those are going to make your hair more oily and make you feel like you have to wash your hair more often. Getting the right shampoo or conditioner for your hair type is really, really important. And it's going to help with how often you have to wash your hair, which is a lot of the questions that I get from my clients when they are in my chair. So if you guys have questions or you need help finding a shampoo that's going to work for you, shoot me a message, because I am more than willing to sit down and ask you the questions to figure out what one should be a good match for you. Unfortunately, right now the salon stores are closed, so I'm not able to get any product for anybody. But as soon as I'm able, I have a list started and I will be messaging people to set up a time to pick up their product that they do want to order. So with that all being said, I'm going to open it up to questions. If you want to see anything else for this video, I kind of went over everything at the beginning of the video. I'm not sure, a lot of you came on a little bit later than that. So if you want me to reiterate anything, go ahead and comment. I guess I wasn't as prepared today as I was the other day. But yeah, I really, really am loving this Air brand. Another thing I guess I can go over is this Air has a lot of texture products, that are, you know, like I said, natural, organic, paraben-free, sulfate-free, vegan, cruelty-free. And this is, it says right here, responsibly sourced, holistic ingredients. So that, like, this is a dry texture mousse, it says. So this is a mousse that you would put in. You can probably let your hair air dry. I have not tried this product yet. Next time I wash my hair, I am going to try it so that I can kind of talk about it and let you guys know what I think of it. But it's infused with volcanic ash and marigold. So that's kind of something a little cool. Haley, I can get you some. You'll love the products. So Carol just commented, I know you guys can all see the comments, but she just said that she washed her hair. Today is day 4, and she only had to add a little bit of heat today, so that's awesome. Carol, about how much time did you spend today on your hair, or the last 3 days after day 1? Was it pretty quick styling? Was it easy to do? Connie, for me. So Connie, one thing that I do, and thank you for bringing this up because I actually had this on my list to talk about. So if you guys have a problem keeping your curl overnight or keeping the memory of your curl, which by using the products that I talked about in that tutorial to curl with a flat iron, and using a flat iron that is the right width, so like something like this, you don't really want to use anything wider. It's going to be harder to curl with. That's just my opinion. Some people make it work. But to keep your curls while you're sleeping, if you have shorter hair like I do, not all of this can fit up on top of my head. However, most of it can. So when I go to bed at night, I don't always do this, but if I really am just feeling like I'm not going to want to style my hair in the morning, I will use one of these clear elastic spirals. I love these things. These do not hurt my head. They do not break my hair. And they don't make creases. So when you put in a regular hair tie, I used to use regular hair ties all the time. Like I wouldn't use anything else. But I hated it because I couldn't do anything with my hair the next day if I had it up because there would be creases of where it was holding so tightly. This doesn't do that. This keeps it loose enough that it will not crease your hair, so you can take it down and brush it out and be fine. So I literally just wear my hair like this. Connie, this is to answer your question. Now this looks crazy, but I'm going to bed. I don't really care. And this bottom stuff will fall out, but that's all hidden under everything else. So when you go, oh yeah, I tried this in my sister's hair the other day to show her how well these work. She did not believe me that it would hold all her hair because she has an insane amount of hair, and it held her hair. So I'm definitely getting some of those for her because she needs them. But anyway, this you can wake up in the morning, and I mean, if you, because Connie, you have finer hair, this will work for you too. I have a friend that has the same amount of hair that you do. She uses them all the time. So if you want these, I can get them for you once I can get my products again from the salon store because they're closed. But in the morning, I will take this down. I say the word literally way too often, you guys. I'm working on that. I take my hair down, and you can see it did kind of like mess everything up. But this again, so this would be now day 4, hypothetically. And I would just take my brush, brush it out. Now you can see a lot of those curls came out again, right? But if I just kind of fluff it, it still is wearable. It's not perfect, but it's wearable. But now, considering that we're technically on day 4, this would be the day that I would spray on some of my heat shield or any of my heat protectors. I do have a couple other ones that I really like too, but this has been my favorite lately. So I would spray this on and do, you know, a curl here and a curl here. And I will show you. I'm just kind of explaining first. Just to kind of add a few in there, and the rest of it I would leave. So let me go back in the comments here because I missed some. Awesome. So Carol said that on day 2 and 3, it was 10 minutes or less. She sprayed and scrunched a little hairspray and a little dry shampoo, and she was ready to go. Then today for day 4, like I was just explaining, day 4, that's when my curls are kind of like not really coming back. I mean, you can see they're there a little bit, but that's where I would take my flat iron and just add a couple more curls like she said she did. And that would just add in that texture just enough that it looks like you still did something with your hair, but you didn't really take more than 10 minutes. And because you're putting heat protectant on and you already have hairspray from the last 3 days, your hair is going to get a little bit crunchy. That's just the product building up on your hair, which is why I don't recommend doing more than 4 days if you can help it, just because that can also cause damage by having that buildup and then going over it with your flat iron. So it's important to make sure that you're cleaning off your flat iron, which I guess I can do a video on how to clean your tools too, if you guys would be interested in hearing that. But I need to turn the heat down. Don't forget to turn your heat down. That's really bad too. But I'm just gonna take like some on these very top layers. And like this one, this section I usually do towards my face, so I'm gonna repeat that. And it's gonna get a little bit, like you can see, that's just gonna repop that curl out. And I'll do another one. I'm just gonna do the very top layer pretty much. I don't really worry about the under layers because those are holding the curl at the bottom, at the ends. And that's all you really see. So for me, like you can see, that's already looking better. It's not how it's gonna stay because I still need to comb it out, but gosh, these bangs, I hate my bangs, you guys. I want them to grow. So you can see how that just kind of reiterated my style. And now I'm gonna let them cool because, you know, that's what we should do. Let's see. So when you guys comment, it goes right over my face. So I'm really flying blind when I do this, just so you know. Keep commenting though. Like it does, I love the comments. But if I look funny, it's because I can't actually see what I'm doing. Yes, wider foot iron don't work as well. Yes, I had a chi that was probably double this width, and I could curl with it because I made it work, but I definitely, the skinnier ones work way better. So now again, I'm just gonna do a couple right around the top because I just wanna add that bend in the hair a little bit higher. So, and let it cool. Can't see, does this one need to be, nope, that one's good. Okay, so now you can take, I'm just gonna do it with my fingers because I don't wanna break them up or pull them out too much. But you can use your brush. But you can see, now it looks more styled. Literally 5 minutes of time, you guys. 5 minutes. This would have been day 4. 5 minutes or less. How awesome is that? And you are just using heat on those little strands around the top, which you sprayed with heat shield or heat protectant of some kind. So it's not too terribly damaging, but you're saving all of that damage on this hair under here because look at how curled that still is. And that was brushed out 3 times at least, up in a bun at least twice in the last few days. And I haven't really touched up these curls at all. All I did, I'll show you, all I've done is go over these very ends like that. So, talk about saving your hair. Follow these steps. Now, going back to this little spiral guy, how many of you guys use these? Or how many of you have tried them? What do you think of them? Would you be interested in trying them? That's what I would like to know today, because these are my absolute favorite. The other thing is they do make different sizes too. So these are the smallest ones because it just seemed like I like how much more pliable they are. And I don't know if you can hear Shelby, but she's trying to get in right now. But they work very well. Some people like the thicker ones, like this plastic is just a little thicker and it stretches a little further. I don't necessarily think that's necessary because like, look at how much these stretch. Like this could fit around my whole head. Like, it would hurt after a while, but they stretch. And then once they're stretched out, you can see it's like kind of stretched out. If you let it just sit, after a few minutes, it shrinks right back down to its original size. So, these are amazing. I'm not sure on pricing for them. I can check into that and find out. I know they do sell them at places like Walmart and Sally's and stuff. I can't speak as far as how well they work. These ones are professional ones. I get them from my professional supply store, and I can guarantee that they work. So, your choice, but let me know in the comments, or if you want to shoot me a message if you would like them, I will make a list and let you know when they're in, as well as any of the products. The other product I wanted to kind of talk about is a styling paste. This one is also by Air. Can you guys see that okay? Or is that better? This one is infused with moonstone and blue agave, which I think that's the same as blue algae, maybe? I haven't researched it. I need to. But this is something that's also used to help separate curls and kind of make them defined is a good word to use. So you can see it's kind of more of a paste. And I'm just gonna rub it in my fingers and then kind of just like squeeze and pull and work it in. I probably, like you can, wow. This is the first time I've used this particular one. I'm kind of impressed. Like look at how much it popped that curl out and defined all those curls. That's pretty amazing. So Air, I'm really liking this line so far. The other product I got out, gotta find it again. Maybe, oh, I didn't get it out. That's okay. How many of you guys use root powders? Root powders are really amazing if you don't mind a gritty feeling on your scalp. Those can be a really great way to get volume without backcombing your hair. Backcombing can be damaging if you aren't doing it correctly. But that's why root powders are really awesome. Come here. Wanna say hi? So, I don't know if you guys know. Here's Shelby. She likes attention and likes to be wherever I am. She cannot be anywhere without me. Like you can see, she will meow until she gets her way. Won't you? Okay. So normally I don't let her in here, but, well, nobody else is gonna be in here for a while, so that is that. But where was I? Root powder. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different products out there. If you guys have a product that you really love and you want me to try and explain how I would use it, we can kind of do something like that in a future video. If you guys have other ideas for videos, I want to do like Jenna's favorites. So all my favorite product, all my favorite tools, all my favorite things. We can kind of do something like that. Next week I have a top knots and buns class coming, and I also have a braids class coming. So those are gonna be the 2 videos next week. And then as far as videos after that, like I said, I have my favorites video I want to do. I can do a how to clean your tools video. So let me know and message me, comment, let me know what you guys think you want to learn. I'm really open. I know some of you really wanted to do the quick styles or fast up styles class. So that's something that I can do too. That's something that we can, you know, do like an actual like really quick updo for short hair, for long hair, for medium hair, all sorts of different things. Look at her. She's just, you know, into everything. Shelby. But anyway, so that's about all I got for you guys today. I know it was a quick video. Go ahead and go back to the beginning if you missed the first section. I know I started a little early because I got excited. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend and a great rest of your day. Get out for a walk if you can. It's supposed to be really nice out. And I will catch you next week for our next video. Bye!